Hi guys, I've got something a little bit different here for you today. So if the chaos of the holiday season has got you feeling super stressed out and like you've got no chill left to spare, we're going to slow things down here with a nice cool down routine to just relax you, get you back in that holiday spirit. So grab your mat, come with me now on our Silent Nights cool down routine. We're going to start in a seated position here, so you don't have to sit on your heels like I am. Any seated position will do here just to start. And we're just gonna give the head a nice little, or the neck a nice little stretch out. So go ahead, drop the chin forward to the chest. Look down at all of the cat hair all over your shirt. Whoops. And then drop it back, opening up the throat. Lift it back through center, drop the right ear to right shoulder, and then you're gonna take the left hand onto that left shoulder and pull down. Once that's in place, you should feel most of the stretch there. Then you can also bring the right hand, put a tiny, tiny bit gentle pressure on the head, but mostly you're pulling that left shoulder away. Go ahead and release and switch sides. So left ear to left shoulder, right hand is just gonna pull that right shoulder down and away. Teeny tiny bit of gentle pressure on the head. And release. Good. So from here, we're going to come down onto the butt and we're just going to stagger the legs here. So one knee is going to be bent in front of you, that shin basically parallel to the mat. The other is going to be back behind. So we're just staggered there. From there, you're going to take one arm down, lean into it. So just reach up overhead, and then we'll just switch this up. So we're just going to take a nice little flow here, side to side, getting into the hips, getting into the side body, and just kind of doing a nice little relaxing motion with it. So feel relaxed. You could put on some nice relaxing music with this one. Last one here. And then that leg that's in front, you're gonna rotate over that knee and we're just going to wrap it around into a pigeon. So knee will be toward that front thumb on that same side, and then foot will be kind of in the direction of the opposite side hip. If you're super flexible, you could wriggle it forward a little bit more, but the leg that's in front, I want you to think of pulling that hip back, retracting it, because that's usually where the hips tend to get out of line in this one. If you want, you can lower to the forearms here, just melt into it. So just nice deep breaths here. You could even rest the head all the way down. And go ahead, press back up here. So another little option here, you can bend that back knee, reach the same arm, same side arm around, pull in on it. So just getting a little extra quad stretch there. And release. So we'll drop onto that hip. We're not going to the other side right away. You're going to wrap that back leg around, stack the knees here. So ankles are just out to either side, knees are nice and stacked. And you're just going to press down. Make sure that you get both sit bones down nice and tight there, so you're not leaning more in one direction than the other. And then you can start to press forward into a little bit. I like to do a little bit of a nice gentle rocking motion here, just to find the spots where my hips are a little bit extra tight. And then once I've found that spot where I feel it kind of catching almost, I lean into it, I double down on my attack, and I just give it a nice little massage. So while breathing deeply there. So exhale, just release that tension. And then go ahead, sit up. We'll uncross the legs and then we'll just take that in reverse. So stack the opposite leg on top here, same thing. Ankles are just out to the side here. Roll down so you're firmly planted, and then take a little lean forward. And again, you can do that little gentle rock over here. So finding any spots of tightness and giving them a little extra massage. Lengthening through the spine, pulling shoulders down. So we tend to carry a lot of stress in the hips as well as the shoulders and neck. So we already got the neck right at the start here. And then this is a really nice one to do before bed. So it tends to relax you. That's why it's part of this routine. And then go ahead, bring it up. We're going to wrap that leg around now and we'll come into opposite side pigeon, just like magic. So again, whichever leg is in front, you want to retract that hip a little bit. You can go ahead, lower to the forearms or head all the way down. And press it back up. So again, we'll just put a bend in that back knee, pull in on it. Might want to have a little extra padding under the knee for this one. And release, and then we'll just open it up to the side again. So coming into that little mermaid position where we started on that first side. So go ahead, take one hand down, reach up overhead, dropping to the mat, and then we'll just float it up, woo, and over. Sometimes one side feels vastly different. My hips have been spectacularly tight this week. Good routine also if you are doing some holiday travel, as the hips tend to take a bit of a beating with holiday travel. Go ahead and release, and then wrap that leg back around. Take the soles of the feet together here. So knees just coming nice and wide. You can grab onto the tops of the feet, sit nice and tall. And again, you can hold it here, make it a nice static stretch, or you could go for that little kind of gentle rock. So I always find adding that tiny bit of motion helps me get a little bit deeper in my stretches. I also find the motion kind of relaxing. So whatever feels good for you. And then make sure that you are, whoop, in line with your mat here. Keep the soles of the feet together. We'll just slowly release all the way back down. So keeping the knees open here, just resting the back down. Hands can be out at the side here, palms facing up. If the hips feel really open for you, you could put a little bit of pressure on the inside of the thighs and just press a little wider. But if you are doing that, make sure that the lower back does not lift away from the mat. We want to keep it pressed down so that stretch stays in the hips. And then from there, bring the knees back together, extend the left leg long, hug the right knee into the chest. Give that ankle a little circle out in one direction and circle it the opposite direction. And then let's just grab behind the thigh here. Go ahead, extend that leg all the way up. Flex the foot, push through the heel. So focusing on the length here over really pulling it in tight. Once you've got the length, if you want to pull it in a little tighter, you can. But make sure you're keeping the back, the torso really relaxed. And then put a bend back in that knee. Take the right arm out to the side, just underline a shoulder, left hand to the outside right leg, and twist it over. Oh man, my back just popped there. That was excellent. So make sure you're keeping the right shoulder blade down here. You can turn and look over toward that right side. Twists are excellent for detox. Another thing we might need around the holidays. I'm not judging, just saying. Bring that knee back in, extend right leg long, hug the left knee in here. Again, just circle out the ankle in one direction and circle it back in the opposite direction. And then weave the fingers around the back of that thigh, extend leg up, flex the foot, push through the heel, and then maybe pull it in a little bit closer toward you. But focusing more on the length. Put a bend back in that knee, Extend left arm to the side, right arm comes over and pull that knee over. So make sure that left shoulder blade stays down. So you might not be pulling the leg all the way over to the floor on the opposite side. That's fine. More important to keep the shoulder blade down. And maybe you want to stay in some of these stretches a little bit longer. Like I feel like I could stay in this twist forever and ever. That would be the dream. And then go ahead, release it back up. Put a bend in both knees now. You're gonna split the feet to the width of the mat. Let the knees come together, hands just down by the side. So really shrug the shoulder blades down. Turn palms facing up. So this might not feel like a really big stretch for you, but it's a really nice one for expanding the lower back again. So another good one if you have been doing some holiday travel. And a nice relaxing one, so just to chill out after a long, eventful day. And go ahead, hug the knees into the chest here. We're gonna flip over onto the stomach and come into a Sphinx position. So shoulders underneath, no, elbows underneath shoulders. That's the way it goes. Forearms are parallel here. Keep the legs active, so just push down at the tops of the feet, and then energetically you are pulling the elbows back by the sides, pressing the chest forward and up. Hold it there. If you want, you can lift away the elbows. Make sure, again, you're retracting the shoulder blades down the back. And release. Take the hands underneath the shoulders. Press back to hands and knees here. We'll finish it out here with a cat-cow. So inhale, hollow, shoulders down. Exhale, pull navel in, drop chin to chest, push the floor away. Do that again. Inhale, hollow. Exhale, round. And then press back to a child's pose. So I'll give you a few options for your child's poses here. If you want to get a little bit more of a stretch through the hips, toes will be together, knees spread wide, and you'll press the chest down between the knees. If you want more of a restorative child's pose for the lower back, knees all the way together, you'll take hands down by the sides and just let the spine curl around the legs. And if you want to get a little bit more into the shoulders, hands will come behind the neck, and you'll press down into the elbows. So a few different options there to play with. Whatever feels good for you, wherever you feel nice and chilled out. Bring the awareness back to the breathing here. So long inhales through the nose. Let that breath travel all the way around the body. And then just notice any areas where you might be holding on to a little bit extra tension. Just hang out there in that child's pose. So be aware of all of those areas. It is a stressful time of year. It is a wonderful time of year, but a stressful time of year. So just be aware of it and make sure that on that exhale, you are releasing some of that tension and stress. So it can be as easy as the breath there. So if you find yourself getting really stressed throughout the day, bring the awareness back to the breathing. Just take a second. Carve out some time for yourself, take some nice deep breaths, and then get back to it when you can. One more nice deep breath here. Inhale. Big exhale, releasing all that tension. Go ahead, walk the hands back in toward the knees here. Lift up, give the shoulders a final little roll back there. I hope you guys are feeling so nice and chilled out and super festive now. And I hope that you have a fantastic holiday period. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to see more. Hopefully there will be 1 or 2 more festive routines coming. So keep an eye out for those, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.